This one is a validation out-of-body experience, which happened to me in 1999. I was in Ecuador, and my mother, who was feeling a little ill, was on the other side of the room. I decided that, you know what, I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to leave, I'm going to have an out-of-body experience. So sure enough, I meditated, and I felt the vibrations and the usual routine, if you will. And then I commanded myself to leave my body. I go over to her room to console her because she was feeling ill. I wanted to give her energy. My hand, my astral hand, just touches her on the cheek to console her. Like I said, I was learning how to do this. Now I was able to, and I wanted to have a validation out-of-body experience. I went like this to caress her cheek. I see my mother jump, and as I see her jump, I snap back to my physical body, and I jumped right out of the bed, and I'm like, whoa. I'm looking around. I got up. This experience kind of drained me. I went to the fridge to grab a bottle of water, and then I see my mother coming out of the room, running out of the room. She was looking around like she was afraid. I go, what's wrong? I could have sworn that I just felt you touch me on the cheek. And I was like, oh my goodness. Wow. I didn't say anything to my mother. I told her the next day, actually, of what I was able to do. She was like, don't you ever do that again to me. You're going to give me a heart attack. I was trying to console her because she was sick, pass some energy, like healing light, because I started reading up on spiritual healing and all. The second validation out-of-body experience was when my father was visiting at our apartment, and he was sleeping in the living room. I decided to, meditate. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to try an out-of-body experiment. I meditated, for a good 15-20 minutes. I had the usual vibrations, and then seeing the white light, the sound throughout the ears, like right here. And then I felt myself whisk away from my body. I decided that I wanted to give some healing light to my father. From my astral hands, I decided to, send white light towards my father, for healing purposes. I could see the white light coming out of my astral hands, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. I could see my father starting to get agitated. He's kind of moving around. It startled me because I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm doing harm to him, which the intent was not to do harm to him. It was to send him, positive light, positive energy, healing energy. This startled me, so I ended up snapping back to my body, and I was like, oh, I jumped out of my bed. The next day, my father wakes up, and he comes over to me, and he asks me, he goes, Juanito, were you standing above me, or were you standing over me in the middle of the night? Why? And he goes, because I could have sworn that I saw you put your hands on my chest like this. And I was just like, oh my goodness. What did you say? And he goes, yeah, it felt like you were pressing against my chest. I had to explain to my father at my out-of-body experience. It was an out-of-body experience experiment. I think I kind of weirded my father out on that one. He was kind of trippy on that. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of individuals, they are afraid of the unknown. Some people they embrace this, but there's a lot of individuals that they don't want to hear anything that has to do with that.
You are about to embark on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, ghostly encounters, lucid dreaming, astral projection, the Mandela effect. This is Out of Body Experience TV with your host, Juan Augusto.